What is going on, people? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're diving into probably the hottest debate in North London right now and in the Spurs community, whether or not Tottenham Hotspur should sack Ange Postecoglou or if they should remain with Ange. Honestly, this is, maybe rightfully so, I'm not sure, but this is kind of papering over our whole European trophy win. Ange is under immense pressure, and I think the fact that as of May 26th, we still don't have a clear idea of whether Ange is going to stay or not is alarming for the Ange inners and the Ange outers as well. Like, we need a direction here, Levy. Like, come on, bro, please. But yeah, before I get right into this, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. Guys, the channel is doing amazingly well of late. The views are up, the likes are up, the comments are up. And I'm so grateful for you guys and for the season as a whole. It's been a roller coaster, but hey, man, we're in this, bro. We're in this. And do me a solid favor. Share this video with a friend. Share it with your closest Spurs mate. Share it with your family member. Share it with your grandmother. I don't know. But just make sure to like and subscribe, guys. And we're on the road to 150 subscribers. We're not too far away, so do me a favor. Thank you. And let's get right into the video. Let's go. Okay, so let's break it all down, and we're going to break down the good, the bad, and the brutally honest. And stick around towards the end, guys, because I'm going to be giving my verdict on the entire situation and why I think that Spurs fans may need to chill out just a little bit. Just a little bit. So, all right, let's just start with the elephant in the room, guys. The critics, and yes, there are a lot of them right now. Of course, no plan B, too stubborn, collapse in form, obviously, finishing 17th. Typical stuff that Ange is knocked for, too attacking, whatever it may be. And let's be fair, the league form has not been great. It's been horrible. We finished 17th, and there's just no way around that. And a lot of fans say the league is the bread and butter, and the league is a true barometer of whether or not a team is performing well or not. And it actually gives you a clear idea of where a team is at. So, some people say Ange's attacking style is exciting. It's too naive. He's been accused of not adapting mid-game, not knowing how to grind out the ugly results and leaving defense too far exposed, especially against top sides. The famous game last season against Chelsea, down to 9 men, still rocking that high line. And of course, Ange responded with,
"It's just who we are, mate. It's just who we are."
So, with that being said, you can't knock it that it's entertaining. It's definitely entertaining. But even then, with the attacking play that we've shown this season, I think we've all gotten sick of it as Spurs fans. It's been pretty much unbearable to watch. Let's just say that. Pretty unbearable to watch. And of course, we're all Spurs fans. And we've been watching this team for the entire 2025 campaign. And we've seen this team throw away leads, play high lines against freaking top tier teams and get smacked up. Losing to teams like Crystal Palace, Leicester, for God's sake. Like, we've lost some horrible games. Brighton on the last day of the season. It's been rough. So it's completely understandable as to why you may want to question the manager. Now, with that being said, let's just take a deep breath. This season has not just been black and white. There has been so many injuries this season for Spurs. It's been actually unbearable. We faced our worst injury crisis that we've ever seen as a club as a whole. I can't remember a single time where our injury crisis has been worse. It was one of the worst injury crises in the entire Premier League. If you look at our starting 11 for some of these Premier League games, brother, it was bad. Like really bad, bro. Really bad. Genuinely, I think there was times where we have to admit, even as Spurs fans, we want to hold our players to a super high standard, but with some of the lineups that we fielded against some of these teams, you just have to admit that we were the worst looking side. On paper, our players were just not good enough to compete straight up with over half the league. So you have to admit that as a Spurs fan. And how much of that is on Ange and not on, of course, the man at the top, Daniel Levy. So you cannot just completely ignore that we had the worst injury crisis that we've ever seen throughout our entire history, bro. You cannot ignore that fact. And I know this is almost like beating a dead horse, but let's be real. Ange didn't have the luxury of many other Spurs managers. We were missing Harry Kane, our top goal scorer for the club. Listen, it's a dead excuse. I can understand that, but it's a real excuse. all previous Spurs managers have had Harry Kane to actually work with. We removed Harry Kane, and we now have an aging son who has not performed to his heights. What do you kind of expect? It's not going to be as simple as just like, all right, let's just push on. Like, no, it's going to be a lot tougher than that. And when things were clicking, it was clicking. When we win big. There are some games this season where I was like, wow, when things are actually looking really good, it's just such a beautiful thing. And of course, we can look back to the first 10 games of 2 seasons ago under Ange, where we were just dynamite. And I'm sure every single Spurs fan genuinely thought that we were going to win the league. We probably weren't, but you know, we can dream as Spurs fans, we can dream. So yeah, the first 10 games under Ange were just beautiful to watch. Even the Chelsea loss where we were down to 9 men. We're down to 9 men, and we still feel that high line. That was still such an entertaining game to watch. And I still was believing that we were going to win the league. And then, of course, we had the huge injury crisis that season 2, and we completely collapsed. And if we remember as to the whole reason why we actually hired Ange Postecoglou in the first place was because we wanted a project manager. There's a huge issue in modern football these days, and every club has it. It's not just Spurs. I think it's a little bit more heightened in Spurs, but it's not only Spurs. The problem is sack culture. If you don't deliver silverware or top 4 immediately, you're out. But where has that actually gotten Spurs? Mourinho, gone. Nuno, disaster. Conte, imploded. Stellini, yeah, okay, let's not even talk about that, bro. And this leads into my next point. We actually won something, bro. We won something. We won a trophy. And it wasn't a Carabao Cup. It wasn't an FA Cup. It wasn't even the Conference League. It was the Europa League, UEFA Cup, a major European trophy. Because of this trophy win, we are the second most successful team in that tournament. We have European pedigree in that tournament, and Ange delivered our 3rd edition of success in that tournament. And I'll be the first one to hold my hand up and say, hey, I switched up. I was Ange at 1.2. I genuinely wanted Ange gone. I was so sick of this guy. Man, the way that I was cussing this brother out was insane, bro. In fact, I don't know how I didn't get banned for that shit, bro. Like, straight up. I should have got banned off this platform. I was cussing this brother out so hard, man. But now, that feeling that he gave me on Wednesday is something that I can't even begin to explain how good that felt. And this past week, bro, this past weekend since Wednesday has just been some of the best times of my life. I have been partying like there's no tomorrow, bro. Straight up, man. So I think that needs to be taken into account as well, bro. He's just given us so much pure joy and happiness. And for us to sack him, like, really? Really? Ange just isn't another manager. He's a project manager. He's changing the DNA of the club, and that does not happen in a short amount of time. This has been a freaking grind. It has been a process. But through these past 2 years, through all the pain, the struggle, the hurt, the bottled leads, the injuries, through it all. And through it all, we play the way we want to. Big Ange Postecoglou. Sorry. Through it all, bro. Through it all, we finally got our first trophy after 17 years. Our first major trophy after 41 years. 41. Only at Tottenham Hotspur can you have a manager that ends the trophy drought. The trophy drought after 17 years, the major trophy drought after 41 years, and still end up sacked. So, whether or not Spurs should sack Ange Postecoglou kind of just depends on what your standards were for the start of the season. So I assume for a majority of Spurs fans, the goal was Champions League, let alone just Champions League bare minimum, or Champions League and a trophy, or just a trophy. I guarantee that was like a majority, at least 90% of Spurs fans' expectations. There's probably some crazy ones where like, oh yeah, let's win the league, but let's be real, that wasn't happening. So I'm gonna assume that a majority of Spurs fans would have taken Champions League and a trophy. Now let me tell you something. We did that. Ange did that. Now was it in the way that we all expected? God no, not even close. It was the most torturous way possible. But in terms of objective fact of what we outlined for him at the start of the season, Champions League and a trophy, Bro, he did it. He did do it. So not only do we get the money, we get the Champions League, we get a major European trophy in the Europa League. We also have a higher chance to retain our top players. And on top of that, bring in even bigger star talent. And on top of that, we compete in the Super Cup to win another major European trophy in the span of a couple months. And we want to sack him? Listen. I love my club. But I just got to realize, like, I question where this entitlement really comes from as a club that have done nothing for so long. Like, let's just give our heads a shake and just process, like, what we're doing right now, man. Come on, bro. So to answer the question, to bring it full circle, should Spurs sack Ange Postecoglou? The answer is God, no. Don't do it. Levy, I swear. Levy, oh, you bald, Gru looking. Whew. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it, man. Nah, for real though. Like, I can understand why fans want to sack him. The league is the bread and butter, and the performance in the league has been inexcusable. And fans are rightly to ask, like, okay, why didn't he just take what he did in the Europa League and do it in the Premier League? I don't know. But there's a lot of factors into why the form also suffered in the Premier League. It's not just black and white. There's so many things that happen in terms of injuries, in terms of just dealing with multiple competitions. And let's all be real. If you looked at the start of our season and the transfer window that we had last summer, we can all rightfully say that we were not as prepared as we needed to be for this season. And who does that ultimately come down to? The man at the top, Daniel Levy. It always comes back to him, bro. It always does. One of my biggest reasons for why we shouldn't sack Ange is just simply down to feel-good factor. As you can clearly see, the players love Ange. They're all behind him. Not a single murmur of any players growing discontent with the way he manages or turning against him. Not a single utter of that all season. Not a single one. The players are all behind him. They love him. The players all love him. A lot of the fans love him. Like, this is the first manager that we've probably had since Pochettino that we can all genuinely say that, like, we like him as a person. So, I mean, man, like, to remove Ange from that now and then just go on and say, like, hey, we're gonna bring someone else, and who do we even bring in? Like, the manager market isn't that hot. Like, I don't even know who we'd bring in. The only one I could probably think that I'd actually be like, okay, is like Xabi Alonso or the guy from Inter. Like, I don't know, bro. I genuinely don't think there's any other options out there. If Glasner was available, sure, but Glasner's staying with Crystal Palace, so there's no options. I'm not taking Thomas Frank over Ange Postecoglou, but like, what are we saying, dude? Not happening. I'm not taking Marco Silva over Ange, bro. Like, what? But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Should we sack Ange? Should we keep him? I assume we're gonna have news probably by the time this video goes live. We'll see. Or I don't know, man, probably in the next couple of days. Hopefully it wouldn't take longer than a week, because we need to start buying players now. Like, players are moving. Coutinho's going to Man United. Arsenal's gonna start making moves. Liverpool's already signing Verts. Like, there's players are moving now. Like, Spurs, we cannot pass up this opportunity. We gotta get moving right now. So hopefully the club can come to a clear and concise decision, and we can push on from here, man. Come on, boys. Come on, you Spurs, bro. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Should we sack Ange or should we keep him? And make sure to like and subscribe for more amazing content. It's going to be a huge summer, guys, and I'm going to be right here on Canadian Dose of Spurs covering it all for you guys. Take care, guys. Peace out.